What's up, guys? It's Lionel back again with another video, and today I'm going to do episode 2 of how I got hired as a self-taught web developer. Excuse me, I don't know why I just took a bite out of this before I hit record, but do you see what I'm working with? Yogurt. Anyway, the first episode, I told you guys I was going to tell the story more than once, and it's because even though that video was about 30 minutes, I really did skip over a lot. I breezed over a lot of things, and as my channel is growing a little bit, I'm getting a lot of comments. Shout out to everybody leaving a comment. Please subscribe and like, why not? And I gonna make a playlist with episode 1 in case you missed that one. This is part 2 of this, but in that one, I mean, spoiler alert, I went from truck driving to web development, full stack web development, and people have been asking me, how did I get started? How did I make that transition with the networking? So one very important pivotal thing, and I know that someone mentioned how I got lucky, and I admit that I did get lucky, but I still believe that everybody has luck inside of them, as long as they just keep trying and stuff like that. So, I mean, if I just know that the way that things work, and nothing's going to change my mind about how when you put yourself out there with good intention, do what you say you're going to do, visualize what you want to happen, and then when your chance comes, take it, do your part, put in the work, make the sacrifices, learn when you need to learn, try every single day, try not to skip days that you shouldn't skip if you're really trying to go at it. And even if you do mess up, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up too much, but try again the next time, and you will get wherever you're trying to go. And so with that being said, how did I do it? Everybody knows that I was a member of 100 Devs while I was driving, and in one very pivotal episode, I think it was like the second or third episode, at the end, Leon Noel says to us, he says, you guys got homework tonight. Hit up somebody that you know who is a web developer and take them out to lunch. Invite them somewhere, like on a date almost, and you pay for it. And I was like, damn, who do I know? So I thought, and Matt, shout out to Matt. When I was freelancing photography and videography way long time ago, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I found this gig off of Craigslist for, dang, I really wanted to be computer guy this whole time. It just took me a long time to get back. I forgot about that. I took this job off of Craigslist for doing SEO with this dude. It's so random. It's just so random that this guy had a recording studio, was looking for people on Craigslist to do SEO work for him. Search engine optimization. For those of you who don't know, it's ranking your website in Google. And the dude was so interesting, unlike anybody that I ever met. He used to have like 5 different phones lined up on the table, and each phone was a different business. He had one phone for like building fences, one for being a plumber, one for cleaning houses, right? And then he hired little minions off of Craigslist like myself and taught us how to do SEO. And one phone would ring, he'd pick it up, he'd look at the phone, he'd be like, everyday plumbers. He'd pick the other one up. We'll clean your, house cleaning. And then what he would do is he would book the client. And then he would call a friend, an uncle, or somebody to go do the gig. And he'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll be there. That'll be 100. Then he'll call, hey Larry, I got another fence job for you for $50 over here. So my job and Matt's job was to do the SEO to make those websites get found on Google, which goes back to adding to your skill set so that you can freelance and market and get opportunities and have confidence and put yourself out there to get opportunities. And anyway, this is a Craigslist thing. Like, everyone thinks Craigslist is a scam. Most of the stuff, it's not what it used to be. Craigslist ain't how good as it used to be, but back in those days, you could really eat off of Craigslist. So anyway, I didn't do it long. I did it for like maybe 4 months, but Matt was there with me. And this whole time I've been cool with Matt on Facebook. And he still to this day does SEO, but now he owns his own company for SEO. He's making like $30,000 clients. He got so many clients in the company that he was working for. He branched off and started his own. Got so many clients that his old bosses bought his marketing agency. He was doing this the whole time. And anyway, I've been following him on Facebook, and we kind of lost touch, but I hit him up and I said, you know, I could go pull up the messages right now. But, you know, I reached out of nowhere. I reached out. And maybe one day I will do that to show you guys, like, you know, the real. But I asked him what he was doing and if he wanted to get some lunch. That I was thinking about being a web developer, and I wanted to talk to him and just catch up. And so and that I will pay for the lunch. And so we ended up going to Rustic Spoon, and it was dope. It was like we've been friends forever this whole time. And I told him everything. I was honest. I told him, you know, my plans and my dreams and aspirations, and while I was still truck driving. And, you know, he gave me some key good advice on how to get started. I think I told him about a client or two that I had. Talked to him about how does he charge people, you know. And in the end, he ended up paying for the, you know, and of course I tried. I was like, okay. Even though we went to a fancy restaurant too, I was like, man. But he paid. Shout out to Matt. You're a real one for that. I tried. He was like, nah, I got you. Very cool, man. And right before we left, he was like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this book club. You should come. And I was like, okay, cool. When do y'all do it? He said, Monday, but we're thinking about switching it to Thursday. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll see. And I called my girl and I was talking to her about it because Monday was the only day that I actually had a chance to go at that time. But I worked on Mondays. It was going to make me 2 hours late, like crazy late. And I could have gotten so much trouble. But for some reason, I knew that I needed to go to this book club thing on Monday. Because in my mind, it was really, he was my only web developer friend at that time. When I think about it, it was kind of my only chance. And that is how determined I was. And that is how, you know, focused I was. And how, you know, willing I was to just grind and make it happen. That I was working all day that day, driving around lettuce and tomatoes and shit like that, right, in a van. I had to start in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, make my way through Virginia, finish up in Maryland, and then drive back home. I'm supposed to get done around like 10 o'clock, start at 10 in the morning, get done at 12. There was no way. My normal break, now, if it was 3 o'clock, it would have been perfect. 2 to 3 or 4 is kind of pushing it. Like anything outside of that. So with it being 5 or 6 was just insane, bro, for me to do that during work. But I did it. I parked far away so they couldn't see my van. I parked and I went into the book club. And it was awesome. And they were doing this book. Where's it at? I think it's downstairs. But it's called Rocket Fuel, where it talked about being a leader. Was it the leader one? No. The first one we did was how to build your small business in 30 days. I think I do have it. I do have this one. This was the first book. Donald Miller, How to Grow Your Small Business, right? And my short-term memory is messing me up right now because I do not remember. Oh, the jet thing. So he talks about how marketing is like, businesses are like a jet where you have leadership in the front, products and sales are the wings, cash flow is the fuel. It's a whole thing, right? And it makes sense when you think about a business growing and flying up, right? So when people ask me about networking and about starting to freelance, how do you do that? You have to gain knowledge first. I remember that the things that I was learning in this book club, the 4 and 5 awesome people that were there, they say surround yourself with people who you want to be like, right? You have to go find them. It's most likely not your homies that you grew up with. I mean, shout out to all my homies. Y'all know I love y'all. But I'm saying with this type of stuff, jobs that you want to do. My homies don't do the jobs that I want to do. All of them are cool and they all do cool shit. And I used to do cool shit with them, but they're not in the tech world. So these are tech people who I was around. Sales and marketing people, actually. Very much marketing people, which gave me small business marketing knowledge. Yo, I need to plug this book again. How to Grow Your Small Business. Donald Miller, man. The people who ask me how to get started in freelancing small businesses, man. Go to these small businesses with knowledge. Take a meeting with the owner. I know that might be scary, but you have to read a book first. So you have to be prepared. If you have knowledge, like the jet thing, and you sit down with somebody and talk to them about that, come on, you're here to solve their problems. You're here to help. That's all. And you're going to get a chance. You can. So, because I went to that meeting, I met everybody, right? Everybody that was there. And Matt, and yeah, because I met Isaiah, who is the one who sat with me on my interview, the one who I won the hackathon with. I met him at the book club. So if I would have said, damn, I gotta work that day, I can't. I could have still been truck driving today. I probably wouldn't have. I would have found another way for sure. And it makes me wonder how many times have I missed an opportunity like that because it rained or something. I didn't go. There's so many things that I've canceled before. But that time I knew was not the time to cancel. And I went, I made the sacrifice and I went and I was super late. I was late, like got home like 1 in the morning or 12 because after our meeting was so long. And then we chilled and talked. I almost went out to eat with them after because it was so good. And, we was vibing and I was learning and I could tell I was with my people. And I went back, hopped back in the car. They were like, you're way over there, sir. I drove the van. All right, y'all. Tomatoes and lettuce and hamburgers in the back. I had to take it to Maryland. And I did that. And then, like maybe a month or two later, well, I was already better from reading that book. I went to every meeting after that. I still go to the book clubs. Now we're reading Essentialism, which is, I'll shout that out and talk about that later. But it's dope. We also read Rocket Fuel. But what was I gonna say? The knowledge from the book club had me like on another level of ability to freelance. It added I unlocked a whole nother skill set with freelance. And I was doing it for people because I had the knowledge to do it. And then eventually, so I used to work for this company as the driver for another company, like a warehouse type company. I asked him for a dinner. Their boss, the owner of that, for a dinner, and he took the meeting with me. And I talked to him about coming in as a web developer I was really trying to get web developer. I kind of tried to force myself into web development for this company. Well, I'm like, yo, I also do marketing. I could do social media. I could do flyers. I can do graphic design. I could do your t-shirts. I could do literally anything. I'm that type of dude now. And we talked about the stuff that I learned in the book. I was asking him all the right questions, like, you know, who runs your sales, who runs your operations, who makes sure that this happens, what are your what you know it's a lot, you know. And when you're a boss, like, dude, that is your key to freelancing. If you're doing it with small businesses, or you're just finding out the pain points, as they say, you know, that corny cliche word, pain points. You're looking for the pain points, and then you let them know that you're here to solve them, and with confidence and with knowledge, and you know, you get a chance. And so that's what happened. That's how I got out of truck driving and into an office. Like, I wanted an office job so bad so that I could have more time to code, more time to learn, more time to freelance, more time to go to networking events, more time to put myself out there. I was driving all day. There was no way other than my days off. And my days off, I was just so tired. I didn't even want to drive anywhere. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, so the crazy thing about that is that going to this book club, I kept getting cooler and cooler with Isaiah. And then I told him about the hackathon. He ended up coming with me. And then that was the first time I really got to like really build something, which I'm going to teach y'all how to do too. Join the school. We're going to start doing demonstrations, right? Opening up GitHub. I got to get you guys portfolios created. I would say about 95% of the people who are viewers and who have joined the school don't have their portfolios made. And we have to start there. We'll worry about everything else later. But once you get opening up Visual Studio Code on your own, get some project files on your own, start creating stuff to do apps and different things, start having fun with making stuff, and learn as you go. That way, when you do hit your next lesson on React or JavaScript or whatever it is, you can reference that back to your code, open up your project and look around, and you'll be like, oh, you're going to look at everything with new eyes. And that's what I learned from building with Flair Deck. Even though I struggled, I was talking to my homegirl Sinelli at this past hackathon about the difference. Yo, when was that first hackathon? I could probably look it up on how could I look this up? On LinkedIn maybe? I'm tempted to search. Would it be Instagram, Facebook maybe? I'm tempted to search, but let's just say it was like August or September. Now it's February. So from there to now, I'm literally like 20 times the developer I was, because at that point, man, I was chat GPTing my ass off, and I was scared to ask questions to anybody. Assembly has these cool booth things that you work in, and I was just locked in there, just like I was supposed to be doing state management, or like I was on the mobile team. I had a lead developer, and we were splitting up tasks in the beginning. He was like, Lionel, do you know React? And I was like, yes, I've heard of React. Of course I have. I know JavaScript. Yeah, I could write components. So I had to do that on my own. Like, bruh. And then when it's time for me to like everyone to look over my work, like he had to rewrite a lot of stuff that I did. Like it was bad. I should have done better. I should have been more prepared. Leon Noel would not have been proud for my performance in that hackathon, that first one. But we won. They did. They might have carried me a little bit. I held my own, and I brought everybody there. So I was an essential glue to the situation. and we won. And then Adoku, my lead, I'm still cool with him to this day. He's awesome. And of course, Isaiah. And this time around, I was in there like, sure, building pages, no problem. Building pages, helping the other guy Jacob, shout out to Jacob. He's a front end guy. I'm full stack. I do both. So there were certain things that I could help him with. We were figuring out together, which was awesome. For whatever reason, he felt more comfortable asking me. Then asking the elders on the team. We had Tim, we had Paul, we had Lee, who are all OGs, well established. Jacob's also an OG. I was the little bro of the group, but still I have enough knowledge to work with him. And we were doing that. We were working, and I was talking to Sinelli like, wow, I am 20 times the developer I was that first hackathon. It's a whole different vibe, and I'm in a whole different team. And we got second place. We didn't win, but it was way more competition this time. That first time it was probably like 6, 7, or 8. This time it was more like 20 teams, 10, 15, or 20, something like that. And it was awesome. We made it to the finals. Like, they did a science fair style where you all stand at tables and all the judges go and walk to your tables. You do a mini pitch, and then the top five teams do it with the big screen that y'all saw in that one video. But this is part 2 of how did I get my job? So how does that connect? Oh yeah, like I said in the first video, Isaiah, if I didn't go to the book club, I would have never met Isaiah. We would have never did the hackathon together. I would have never won the hackathon. And then when I got my job interview and I was telling them that I'm a great developer, I'm a try hard, I'm a never give up, but I need help with leading the project, the direction. I don't know where we're going with this thing, or which direction to go, what's most important. Shit, if I have to, I'll figure it out with you, but I could use a little help. And they were like, how many developers do you need? And I said, I know just the guy. And I called Isaiah, and here we are today. The rest is history. So it was through networking. That's just one out of many examples. To give another piece of the puzzle, and I realized this could be a little bit unorganized if you didn't watch the first one. So I'm gonna put a playlist here of the first one. This is part 2. There's gonna be a couple more later on, and thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are motivated every day. This is another video for that reason, to show you guys that look at how fast the YouTube is growing. This is the type of things that can happen when you go for something every day. And that's what we're doing this year together. Digital builders. We're out. Peace.